Ratatoing. Ratatoing.
Ratatoing. Ratatoing.
Ratatoing. Have I seen movies worse than this? Yes, I have. But this is pretty damn bad. This is so bad that I would have rather watched Tana Mojo. However, I needed to find something to make a video on, so I wasted approximately 3 hours of my life watching this a few times. It's actually, quite sad. So now you could be asking, what the hell did you watch? Well, you see, Ratatoing is a movie produced by a company that is notorious for making awful Disney and DreamWorks knockoffs. So, Ratatoing is Ratatouille after smoking one marijuana. Don't do drugs, kids. In this video, I'm gonna brutally criticize and dissect this film, would we call it? I don't know if I want to give it that title. So without further ado, I will now show you the cinematic masterpiece that is Ratatoing. I don't know what happened with the writing, but it certainly wasn't something good. Let me briefly describe the plot for you. It's about some rat chef named Marcel and his two co-workers, Carol and Greg. They go on spy missions to steal ingredients, and this lets them have the best restaurant in the city. You know it's the best restaurant because the first 11 minutes and 50 seconds of the film is dedicated to this fact. The word restaurant is said 6 times within the first 2 minutes alone.
Restaurant. Restaurant.
Restaurant. Restaurant. Restaurant.
During the time the villains are also introduced, they basically just want to steal the recipes to all the dishes and have no substance past that. So after that part of the movie is done, the 3 main rat protagonists get into their spy gear in an unnecessarily long and awkward transformation scene. They then go on a mission, get yeeted around on a ceiling fan, and get caught by a nosy thought who's only a part of the villain characters because she's a girl. The evil, filthy, disgusting rats realize that they need to stop Marcel from getting ingredients, so they go and terrorize the human restaurant that Marcel was getting his ingredients from. This scene is awful, really. It opens with some sort of weird dance that looks like it was choreographed by Demi Tokosita, and we get to see some nice shaven legs. And that's about it. Nothing above them legs, though. Marcel and his squad of characters that are void of any personality go back to get more ingredients, but they can't because there are mouse traps and a mentally defective cat. Now when I say mentally defective, I mean it's running animation. Look at it. More on that later. So they go back and the restaurant loses business and just sucks. The evil mice and Marcel decide to go back and try to steal the ingredients one last time. They meet each other, the evil cat befriends Marcel and eats the 2 rats. Then we get a almost everything went back to normal cliche at the end.
Almost everything seemed to be back to normal. I said almost everything, didn't I?
So that's the story. It's way different than Ratatouille's plot despite being a knockoff of it. This is because the Ratatouille production started before Ratatouille came out. My guess is that the creators watched the trailer of the movie and decided to make the knockoff from that. Basically trying to get customers who don't know what they're looking for or don't want to pay the price for a Disney movie. So I feel bad for any poor souls who spent money on this. So in terms of writing for dialogue actions throughout this, I found the conversations and statements that characters had to be extremely specific. I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but it's kind of similar to Troom Troom's oddly specific dialogue. Here's a little montage of what I mean.
So nice of you to say so.
Yes, Maria Liche, just divine.
Indeed, this restaurant is very good, Maria Liche. You are absolutely right.
No.
Darling, that looks positively disgusting.
Oscar, what ridiculous dish did you order? I don't know how men can eat things like this. That is so disgusting.
So basically, sentences could have been shortened up and simplified. One of the 3 main characters, Greg, says the word precisely 9 times throughout the video.
Precisely!
That might not seem like a lot, but he doesn't speak much, so most of his interactions have the word precisely in it, and it's extremely odd. Throughout this shit show of a movie, we see numerous awkward moments. At 13:24, you get a minute-long sequence of rats putting on a spy suit. At 23:57, you get 50 seconds of an awkward dance animation that you can't watch without headphones because the sounds that the voice actors makes it seem like you're watching some sort of regrettable hentai. This was a blast to watch. So I animated for a bit at one point in my life, 3D animation, nothing complex, I was pretty amateur. But after watching this, I felt like a god. I also felt like dying. So, that's a pretty big difference, but there is so much to cover here. The characters in the background were completely still for the most part. In occasional shots, a character would maybe do one movement, but for the most part, it looked like all the rats had died. The rats in the background always had their mouths open. I think this is because it's the default pose for the model. I saw a few semi-T-posing rats. It made me feel like I was on a 13-year-old's dank meme account. The characters didn't really move unless they were speaking, and when they spoke, they had unnecessary head movements, torso movements, and ear movements. They all sort of moved independent of each other with no relation whatsoever. The ears would flop over even though the mouth didn't move. I think some of the torso animations were done to create a breathing effect, but overall, I have to give this animation 2 rat droppings out of 10. I mean, at least there are mouth movements. Oh wait, those are awful too. The lip syncing in Ratatoing makes the lip syncing in Sonic Adventures look good.
Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah!
One of 2 things happened here. They either used an automatic lip syncing process and made no refinements, or they animated it before recording the lines and just kind of went, fuck it, it's good enough. The lighting on the models is extremely inconsistent, and the light sources don't always line up with the shadows and change from shot to shot. A lot of scenes have a very strong hue of one color. I think it's a lighting problem, but it's so strong that it looks like a filter. The restaurant has a prevalent green tone to it, and the human kitchen has a blue or purple hue. Speaking of lighting issues, the hue and light source problem combined has produced some terrifying shots. This thing looks like a really bad Five Nights at Freddy's DeviantArt wallpaper. Let me just... I think the biggest issue with the animation is that god-forsaken cat. The animators couldn't even find a consistent running style. Here he's running like a normal cat that might be on an LSD trip, you don't really know, right? And here, he deadass looks like a child when they're having a tantrum because you didn't get the Maverick merch or surprise eggs. Oof.
I'm just a kid who's born each day I grow some more.
Okay, so everything here with voice acting problems probably comes down to being the director's fault rather than the voice actors. Before I really give you any more details about this, you should probably know that this character is played by Dr. Eggman.
Precisely!
Oh, also I had a regrettable My Little Pony voice acting phase, so I have professional experience and I can give the utmost proper critiques here. So, first of all, there are way too many effort noises in this thing. I'm telling you, you can't watch it without headphones because it sounds nasty. Light transformation scene, they make a sound or moan for every single movement they do. The voices in general are slightly bothersome. What I mean by this is that the guys have a creepy voice for some reason, like they're trying to make men seem scary. They kind of sound similar to one another with a little dash of creepiness sprinkled on top. But hey, who am I to say a voice sounds odd when mine is unbearable? Some lines are extremely overdramatic and some have no emotion at all.
Perfect, my friends.
I really don't blame the VAs for this though, as the director should provide feedback with the lines. In terms of sound editing, some effects are slightly delayed, like a boing sound. All of the audio sounds like it's on the same layer, and it's about as bad as my sound editing. The music, dialogue, and effects just blend together into this concoction of rat size, Italian bakery music, and precisely.
Precisely!
The music is mediocre. I have no complaints, I guess. I couldn't focus on it when this was playing in my ear. Okay, so I don't really have much to say for design, but I had to give it its own section for organization reasons, even though I'm horribly unorganized. So, the rat character models. Oh boy, they are so vast and endless. I'm kidding, there was like 7 base models that were used for the rats. Only color alterations are made, or a mustache, necklace, hat, or hair was added to them. They all just look the same. Some textures in this animation have extremely low resolution, and a lot of the other models are just simple and bland and look like a Fisher-Price toy. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk on Ratatoing. I hope you have a good day and never buy this movie. I suffered, so you don't have to. But let's be honest, you probably suffer when watching my videos. Anyway, here is my generic YouTuber end screen.
Oh, every night is like a daze. But oh, I'm feeling crazy as I know I'm running late. Let's wait just one more day.